Good morning, first grade. So all of this week we've been really talking about characters, settings, and events. So for this lesson, I really want us to dive in and we're going to start practicing identifying characters, settings, and events in a story. So I have that up here. The purpose of our lesson is going to be practice identifying those. And then I also have that written up here, and then your student learning target is I can tell the characters, settings, and events from a story. So that will be up here for you guys to reference throughout the lesson. And then, so again, your learning target is up here, and I want you guys to say it with me this time. So I can tell the characters, setting, and events from a story. Awesome job. So I know we've talked about it this week, but I want us to briefly go over again. What are characters, settings, and events? So let's start with characters. Can anybody tell me what a character is? Yes, good job. A character is a figure in a story. Now, characters don't always have to be people. Characters can be animals, creatures, and even objects too sometimes. So if you take a look at this picture right here, we see we've got people, we've got a dragon, which can be identified as a character. We have an octopus, which is an animal. So characters can be people, animals, creatures, and objects. Good job, you guys. All right, so next we have, what is setting? That's right, setting is where our story takes place. So what examples of settings do you guys see in this image? Yes, that's right, we have a castle. Very good, we have a house, it could be a playground, looks like we have a zoo, a restaurant. So those are all different examples of settings, which is where our story takes place. And sometimes stories can have multiple different settings. Okay, awesome job, everybody. Next, we're going to talk about what are major events. A major event is something that happens that is important to the story. So different events that can happen in the story can be riding a bike. It could be roasting marshmallows, canoeing. Those are all examples of events in a story. So now, I'm going to have you guys gather to our reading area, and we're going to read a book today, and it's called I Spy Fly Guy. And as I'm reading you guys this book, I want you to keep in mind what we're talking about this week, which is characters, setting, and events, and I want you to be mindful and try and identify those three things as I'm reading you guys this book. So let's have everybody gather around and we will read. Okay. I Spy Fly Guy. Okay, and as I'm reading the book, whenever you see the words I Spy Fly Guy, I want you guys to say it with me, okay? All right. A boy had a pet fly. He named his fly Fly Guy. Fly Guy could say the boy's name. Buzz. So our boy's name is Buzz. What sound do flies make? Buzz. That's right. Good job, guys. Chapter 1. One day, Buzz and Fly Guy went outside. Let's play hide and seek, said Buzz. Fly Guy hid in the garbage can. He always hid in the garbage can. He liked to eat while Buzz looked for him. Would you guys ever eat from a garbage can? No, I don't think I would either. Oh, here's our word. Say it with me. I spy Fly Guy, said Buzz. It's my turn to hide. Buzz hid in the garden shed and shut the door. Fly Guy found a way in. Buzz. You are good, said Buzz. It's your turn to hide again. Fly Guy hid in the garbage can again. Just then, the garbage man came. What do you guys think is gonna happen? What do you think's gonna happen next? So Fly Guy is hiding in the garbage can, and the garbage man came, and what do the garbage men do? That's right, they take out the trash. Let's see. He dumped the garbage into the truck and drove away. Chapter 2. Buzz's dad was going to work. Uh-oh, we see Buzz. He looks a little scared, doesn't he? Follow that truck, cried Buzz. The truck drove and drove and drove all the way to the town dump. Buzz ran into the dump. Fly Guy, where are you? Fly Guy, he cried, answer me. A zillion flies all answered. Okay, guys, say it with me. Buzz. Look at all of those flies in the dump. Uh-oh. Oh no, cried Buzz. They all can say my name. How will I find Fly Guy? Buzz spied a fly hiding. Say it with me. Do I spy Fly Guy? The fly flew away, so it wasn't him. Buzz spied a fly eating. Here's another one. Do I spy Fly Guy? The fly boinked him on the nose and flew away. That wasn't Fly Guy either. Buzz spied a fly landing on his hand. Say it with me. Do I spy Fly Guy? The fly bit him and flew away. So that wasn't Fly Guy either. Chapter 3. Buzz was sad. Was Fly Guy gone forever? He kicked a can. He kicked a jar. Then Buzz remembered they were still playing a game. Okay, Fly Guy, yelled Buzz. I give up, you win. He heard a voice from above. Buzz. All right, everybody say it with me. I spy Fly Guy, cried Buzz. And Fly Guy said, Buzzloz. All right, everybody. So that was our story, I Spy Fly Guy. Now I'm going to have you guys go off into your activity groups, and then we're going to focus a little bit more on the character setting events from that story.
Wasn't that such a fun story we heard about Fly Guy? It was. So in our center, we're going to focus on the elements of the story. The first element is a character. So what is a character? A character is actually a who. Who is in the story, okay? And how do we know that they're a character? Because they think, they feel, and they act. And what do I mean by act? They can talk, they can walk, they can jump, they can do any kind of action word. So if they can act, feel, or think, they're part of the characters in the story. So in order for us to remember it, I want us to do something where we can do it and we'll remember if it's a character. So we'll go characters, they think, feel, and act. Okay, so let's stand up and let's do it together. Characters, they think, feel, and act. Characters, they think, feel, and act. Okay, so if they can think, feel, and act, then they're a character. Let's review that really quick. Let's see if we got it. How about a cat and a dog? Yes, good job. Exactly. So if you know, if it is, you go like this. If it's not, we're going to go, okay. How about a boy and a girl? Yes, good job. How about a truck? A dump truck. Yep. Nope, you're not a character. You don't think, feel, or act. How about a trash can? Look at it. Does it think, feel, or act?
No.
No. But what if I change it and we put, let me change it up a little bit. How about now? Can it be a character now? Yes, because he's smiling, so it looks like he can be happy, right? He can feel happy. He has legs, maybe he can walk. It looks like maybe he can talk. So yeah, that's a character now. So you guys did a great job with character. Now let's look about setting. What is the setting? The setting is where it takes place and when it takes place. Is it in the beach? Is it in the mall? Is it outside? Is it in the restroom? Is it in your bedroom? Is it at your grandma's house? Is it at the store? Where does it take place? So for settings, we're going to do this. Look, stand up. Settings, where and when. Settings, where and when. So let's review what settings are. A school. Is a school a setting? Yes, because it's somewhere. How about the seasons? Fall, winter, summer, spring. Yes, because when is it? It's in the winter. It's in the summer. How about a park? A park is a setting. How about day or night? Good job. Is it daytime? Is it nighttime? So now, yeah, it's bedtime. Bedtime is a setting, right? Yeah. Because it talks about when. So let's talk about the story I Spy Fly Guy. Who were our characters in I Spy Fly Guy? Who is it? Yeah. Fly Guy, right? Fly Guy was our character. Good job. We also had another main character, and it was Buzz. Buzz was the little boy, and Fly Guy was his pet. So those are our characters. And where did the setting take place? The setting took place, correct, outside near a trash can in the daylight, right? Yeah. And it also took place in a dumpster. Because where was it? It was in the dumpster. When was it? It was in the daylight. So let's play a quick little game. I have these words. These are words that are in the book. And I found them, and I want you to think as a group. Let me put this over there. Buzz does not want to pay attention. I want you to think as a group, so I want you guys to bottoms up, heads together, think, and decide which one is a setting and a character. Okay? Let's think together. A jar. Yeah, because it doesn't think, it doesn't feel, and it's not anywhere. How about outside? Yeah, where does it go? Character or setting? Setting, good job. How about Buzz? Where does it? Character, good job. How about in the shed? And the settings, good job. How about Fly Guy? Yeah, he's a character. How about a truck? Good job, good thinking. How about Buzz's dad? Yeah. Where does he go? Character, good job, because he thinks, right? Yeah. How about the garbage man? The garbage man. Where does he go? Yeah, he's a character, right? Because he's not somewhere. He was feeling and thinking, and he did an action. He threw Buzz Guy away. How about the town dump? Yes, that was the setting, right? Yeah. And how about daylight? Yes, where does it go? Good job. How about a door? Yep, he wasn't thinking or feeling. You can remember, you have to do character, think, feel, or act. So a door doesn't think, feel, or act. And the settings is where and when. And there's nowhere a door isn't somewhere. Okay, great job. So about characters and settings. So now let's quickly talk about events. What are events? Events are what is happening in the story. So what is happening, give me 1 second, let me tell you, and then what is happening in the story. And to think about what is happening, we're going to think about what is going on in the beginning of the story, in the middle of the story, in the end of the story. Is it a problem? Is it a solution? What is going on? Okay? So let's think about that. What is going on? So I took out this part of the story, and let's look at it. What is going on based on what we see? Yes, Buzz Guy Buzz and Fly Guy are both playing hide and seek. That is an event. And when did it happen? It happened in the beginning of the story. So Miss Bree is going to have a fun activity and she's going to talk more about events. But let's brainstorm real quick. What are some things that happened? What happened in the story? Yeah, they were playing hide and seek, right? So hide and seek. And did that happen in the beginning, in the end? In the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And what happened in the middle? What? The garbage man?
Yeah.
He drove away with Buzz Guy, right? Garbage man drove away with Fly Guy. What happened in the end? Yeah, and this was in the middle, right? Sorry, I forgot to. And this was a problem because Buzz was sad. His pet got driven away. And at the end, what happened? Buzz and Fly Guy got to see each other again, right?
Yeah.
Fly Guy wins the game. So those are some events that happened, and there's a lot of things that were happening, right? They were in the shed. He was eating in the trash. There were so many things. And now you're going to go into your next station with Miss Bree, and she has another fun activity for you guys. It was so fun working with you. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. You all came to your seats so nicely. I really appreciate that. And I know everybody right now is looking at this in front of them. And so before, I kind of want to sing a song with you guys, but before we do that, I think maybe we should talk about this just a little bit, so that way you're not wondering what it is. But this is actually called a flip chart. Do you see how each part flips up? It's called a flip chart. And on our flip chart, we have 5 parts to it. We have character, setting, beginning, middle, and end. So 5 parts to our flip chart. And I'm going to go a little deeper into what this is, and we are going to fill this out in a little bit. But first, like I said, I want to teach you guys a song. And in this song, there is a word, fiction. Does anybody know what fiction means? Fiction is a story that is not real. That's right. So when we read I Spy Fly Guy, was the story real? No, it wasn't real. So what kind of genre was that? Fiction. You're right. The genre of the story was fiction because it wasn't real. So in this song, in the very beginning of the song, it says, give me a story, make it fiction. Okay, so when we hear that part, it means give me a story that isn't real. Okay, so I'm going to sing it first, and then I want you guys to sing it after. Sound good? Okay, so it goes like this. Give me a story, make it fiction. Character, setting, problem, solution. Beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, middle, and end. So it's a very easy, quick little song. So now you guys get to sing it with me. Are you ready? Okay. Give me a story, make it fiction. Character, setting, problem, solution. Beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, middle, and end. Good job. So that song actually helps us with our comprehension skills. Does anybody know what comprehension means? A little bit, not much. That's okay. That's okay. Comprehension is actually understanding what was read or said. So when we heard Fly Guy, do you guys remember what happened in the very beginning of the story? You're right. Buzz and Fly Guy were playing hide and seek. So that's what happened in the beginning. When you guys remember that, that's your comprehension skills. You guys are listening to a story or reading a story or hearing something that's said to you, like listening to the story that you did, and you're remembering what happened in the story. You're using your comprehension skills. So that song helps us to remember the important parts of a story that we need to think about. And today especially, we're talking about the character, the setting, the beginning, and the middle, and the end of a story. So with Miss Eileen, you guys have to talk lots about characters and settings. So do you guys remember the characters in Fly Guy? Who were some of the characters? Buzz. Buzz was the one, that's right. Who was the other one? Fly Guy, good job. So we actually are going to talk just a little bit about character traits. Does anybody know what character traits might be? No, that's okay. So character traits are actually words that kind of describe the character. So when we think about Buzz, what's a word that we can give that describes him in the story? Sad, he was feeling sad. Yep, so we're giving a word that's how he's feeling. So he's feeling sad in the story. When was he feeling sad in the story? When he couldn't find Fly Guy, that's right. So when he couldn't find Fly Guy, Buzz was feeling kind of sad. And then maybe, what's a character trait about Fly Guy? Funny, he is funny. How is he a funny character? When he kept going in the garbage can and eating the garbage when he was hiding, that did make him kind of funny. So we have our character Buzz, and we said that he's kind of sad because he can't find Fly Guy in the story. And then we have Fly Guy, who's funny. He's kind of silly because he hides in the garbage and eats the garbage. So those are some character traits that our characters have in this story. And then when we talk about the setting, you guys know where a setting is where something takes place in the story. So do we just have one setting in the story, or is there a couple? There's a couple, you're right. So can you guys give me one of the settings in the story? The trash can. Fly Guy was in the trash can. Good job. So that's one of the settings in the story. Can you give me maybe one more setting of the story? At the dump. He was at the dump. How do you think the dump smelled? Not very good. Have you guys ever been to the dump with your families? You have? Yeah, it doesn't smell very good at the dump. So those are two of the settings. The first one is the garbage can, and the second one is at the dump. And then when we take our flip chart, we now know what we're going to put for characters is who? Buzz and Fly Guy. Good job. And then our settings, if there was multiple settings, there was more than just the trash can and the dump, right? Yep. So we can put 1, 2, as many as you want, as many of the settings that you remember. You can draw them on here, or you can write about it on the inside. And then for beginning, middle, and end, let's see. We have our song that helps us too. Give me a story, make it fiction. Characters, setting. What comes next? Problem and solution, that's right. So when we think about the problem and the solution in the story, does the problem happen right off the bat, right in the very beginning and the middle, and right in the beginning of the story? Do they start the story with the problem? No, not quite, right? How do they start the story? What happens at the very beginning? Yep, they're playing hide and seek. That's right. And then when does the problem come in? Yep, right after they're playing hide and seek. What happens? Fly Guy hides in the trash can, and then who comes to take the trash can? The dump truck. That's right. And can Buzz find Fly Guy? No, so that's the problem in this story, and that doesn't happen right in the very beginning. That happens when? In the middle, that's right. And then what was the solution? Good job. He goes, okay, I give up. I can't find you. You win. And Fly Guy comes out and he finds him. So the problem is he can't find Fly Guy. The garbage truck took the garbage away and Fly Guy was in the garbage. He couldn't find him. And the solution was he found Fly Guy. He said, okay, you win. We're playing a game. I remember we're playing a game. You win. I give up. And Fly Guy came out. When the solution happened, when did that happen? That happened at the end. That's right. So we have our beginning, our middle, and our end. And we're also including the problem and the solution because that's a big part of the story. When Fly Guy goes missing, that's a huge part of the story. So actually, when we have our stories, the beginning of a story is usually about this big, and the middle of our story is usually this big. And then the ending of the story is usually about this big. So the biggest part of your story is what? Is it the beginning? Is it the middle? Or is it the end? It's the middle. Good job. So when you have your flip chart and you're filling this out and you can start on your characters and you can draw them, you can label your characters, you can even write a little bit about them if you would like. On the inside, you can draw more pictures on the inside if you would like. And then you do the same for your setting. Remember, setting is where a story takes place. So you can draw a couple settings if you want. You can write about the settings. This is your flip book. You get to take these home and tell your parents about the book I Spy Fly Guy. So you get to draw the settings that you remember. And then in the very beginning, do you think in the beginning of the story we are going to write about Fly Guy going in the dump truck? No. You're right, because that happened in the middle. That's right. Good job. In the beginning of the story, we are going to talk about maybe what? What's something we could talk about in the beginning? How they're playing hide and seek. Good job. So you can draw a picture again. You can open it up, draw more pictures, or you can write about it on the inside. When we go to talk about the middle of the story, do you remember? In the middle, we include the problem. Good job. So you can talk about the problem that happened in the story. What was the problem in the story? Buzz couldn't find Fly Guy. Good job. So you can talk about why you couldn't find Fly Guy. You can include that here. You can draw your pictures or you can write your words. And then when we have the ending part, what might be the ending part of the story? What was the end? The end was that Buzz found Fly Guy. That's right. So that could be your end part. You can draw a picture. And again, you can draw more pictures on the inside or you can even write words. Okay, so this is just going to help you retell the story. When you go home later, you can tell your parents, I read this really cool story, I Spy Fly Guy. And once you finish this, you should be able to go home and tell them the characters of the story, the setting, the beginning, the middle, and the end. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a minute to do the flip charts, okay? Okay. So I have one child's flip chart that I want to share with you. Okay, so this flip chart is from a kiddo named Leah. Leah filled this out. And so I'm actually going to cover this up so that we're focused on just the very first one. First, we are going to look at her character. So when she did our flip chart, and everybody's flip charts are going to look different. Not everybody draws the same, not everybody writes the same. Maybe you wanted to just draw pictures. Maybe all you wanted to do was write. Everybody's are going to look different, okay? So this is just how she did hers. So her characters up here, she has hers. She has Buzz and she has Fly Guy, and she labeled them so that we would know who they were. And in here, she wrote, in her characters, she wrote, Buzz is kind, nice, and scared in the story. So she gave some character traits. She explained to us about Buzz. She said that he's kind, nice, and he's scared in the story. And then she said Fly Guy was lost, scared, and found in the story. So she gives a little bit about what happened to Fly Guy in the story. So that's what she did for her characters. For her setting, the next part of her flip chart, in her setting, she wrote the house. When we saw the house, when did that happen in the story? It happened in the beginning of the story, that's right. So we saw the house in the very beginning of the story. So she chose to pick the house as her drawing. Oh, and then she picked the trash can as one of the settings. And she picked the dump truck. And she even drew the dump. So those are the settings that she remembered. She remembered the trash can with the Fly Guy in it, and she remembered the dump truck. And she remembered the dump. Okay, so the next ones we have, I'm going to put this down. It's kind of falling. So the next one we have is the beginning, the middle, and the end. So in the beginning of her story, I see that she has a trash can. And she has a little character sticking out. And it kind of looks like this guy. What's his name? Fly Guy. So I see Fly Guy in a trash can. So in the beginning of her story, she has Buzz and Fly Guy play hide and seek. And Fly Guy kept hiding in the trash can. So can you guys agree? Is that something that happened in the beginning of the story? Yeah, good job. And then in the middle of the story, she has a picture of the garbage truck. And in her flip book, when you open it, she says the garbage man came and took Fly Guy. So is that kind of what happened in the middle? Did the garbage man come and take Fly Guy? Yep, good job. And then in the end, oh, these characters look similar to this. I'm guessing that's Buzz and Fly Guy. So at the end, she says, Buzz remembered they were playing a game. So he said, I give up, you won, and Fly Guy came out. So that's what she said for the ending of her story. So if you go home tonight and your parents have never read Fly Guy before, and you show them this, Do you think that you'll be able to tell them about the story? Yep, because you'll be able to say, these were the characters. This is where the story took place. You'll be able to tell them what a setting is. And then you'll say, these are the events. This happened in the beginning, this happened in the middle, and this happened in the end. Great job, you guys. I'm so proud of you. You guys worked so hard. So now you guys get to wrap it up with Miss Caitlin. Bye, guys.
All right, class. Now can everyone say thank you to Miss Bree for showing us the flip charts? Perfect. Now that we have finished reading I Spy Fly Guy and finished our flip charts, what are some of the big things that we learned today? Yes, we learned what fiction means. Can anyone tell me what fiction means? Yes, it means not real or fake. Perfect. Now, can anyone remember the song that we learned? Perfect. Let's all sing it together. Give me a story, make it fiction. Character, setting, problem, solution. Beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, middle, and end. Awesome. Good job, guys. That was definitely another important thing we learned today because that really helps us remember character, setting, problem, and solution. Now, what was the very first thing that we learned today? What is our learning objective? Yeah, I can tell characters, setting, and events from a story. Great job, everybody. Now, what are characters? Can anyone tell me? Yes, they are people in a story. Great. Can anyone tell me what the setting is? Yes, it is where the story takes place. Now, can anyone tell me what are events? Yes, events are what happens in the beginning, middle, and end of a story. Great job. You all did amazing today, and thank you all for your participation.